Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoop, back with the Pokemon Battle Federation. We're in week 2 versus the San Francisco 40 Arcaniners. And they've got a powerful team. They've decided to bring Gastrodon, Sylveon, Jolteon, Heracross, Alakazam, and Mega Charizard X. And prepping, we pretty much just decided to bring a Hazard Stack, and then Mega Alakazam and Mew are pretty much the same thing, and then Ditto's just there to trace the Charizard and then, or imposterize the Charizard and sweep from there, give an opportunity. But we brought Spikes, Suicide Lead, a Selgor, Tank Chomp for the Heracross or Breloom, Ditto for what I just mentioned, Mega Alakazam, who is a substitute variant, and Mew, who is a Nasty Plot Baton Pass variant, and Toxic Spike, defensive Wheezing. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and hop into the battle. I decided to bring Hazard Stack because he literally has 2 ways to remove him, and that's Gliscor with Defog, who does not get Poison Heal with, Defog. They're not compatible together. And Charizard with Defog, which is a wasted move slot in my opinion. Let's go ahead and hop into the battle. I lead a Selgor. Like I said, it's my dedicated Suicide Lead with Spikes. I'm guaranteed at least 2 Spikes, maybe 3 if he decides to set up. And he does lead with Charizard and Mega Evolve straight away. I'm sashed, so I live any one hit thanks to that. And he takes a hell of a lot of recoil from Flare Blitz. Hell of a lot. And now we can set up another layer of Spikes, which is great for us. And he takes us out with Dragon Claw. Now we can come in with Ditto though, because we are Scarfed, and from this range after the Flare Blitz recoil, we can take him out with his own Dragon Claw. In prep, I really wanted Ditto to trace some stat boost from Charizard and sweep, but that's okay. We get rid of the Charizard early. Now he brings in Gastrodon, and fearing Earthquake or Earth Power, I'm going to switch out to Mew, who is specially defensive. No HP investment or defense investment, just special defense and a little bit of speed, enough to outspeed some things I needed it to outspeed. And here I'm going to set up a Nasty Plot, because this Gastrodon can't really do much to us. And he hard switches out to Heracross, which is very dangerous if it's a Scarf variant. Like I said, I have no HP or defense investment, so this thing will knock me out with 1 hit. Given that it's faster, which I'm predicting Scarf, so I'm going to go ahead and switch straight out to my Tank Chomp, because I don't want Mew taking damage. If I'd have went for the Psyshock there, we'd have got some good damage off, but I went for the Nasty Plot a little early to set up. Probably a misplay on my part. Here Heracross takes a lot of recoil damage from Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin, thankfully, because that thing's a threat. And here we can set up our rocks, as he probably switches out, and he does switch it out to Gastrodon, which is fine. And fearing the Ice Beam, we're going to switch back out to Mew. We don't want to take an Ice Beam. It will drop our Garchomp like a fly. Actually, I'm not sure if it would OHKO from that range. I'm not sure on Gastrodon's special attack, but we didn't want to take the Ice Beam, and he does reveal the Ice Beam. That's fine. Mew can eat that up, but we get paralyzed. Or frozen, excuse me. We're frozen. So this is turn 8, and we're already frozen. and we was in a pretty solid position. Hazard stacking was doing well, and now we're frozen. So we didn't thaw out that turn, which is okay, because Gastrodon, like I said, it's not doing much to us. We can still manage this situation. But again, we stay frozen. I'm not sure why he's not going for the earth power, because it would do more damage. I understand not going for scald because he doesn't want me to thaw out, but maybe he's just predicting my wheezing. And now he hard switches out to Alakazam, which is actually pretty threatening. He can't, at this range, it's a roll on if he can knock me out if he's got Life Orb. So we're just going to switch out to Garchomp here and pretty much sack him off. He goes for Shadow Ball, and I was thinking it was a possibility he might be scarfed to outspeed my own Mega Alakazam. But he reveals Hidden Power Ice and takes us out with a crit. Crit did not matter because it's an Alakazam. Hidden Power Ice, 4 times effective. Didn't matter. Here, we can bring out Ditto and threaten him out with our own Shadow Ball. And I maybe should have predicted this and went for Psychic, but I went for Shadow Ball because it was my safest play. And I was already frozen with Mew, so I needed to be a little bit safer. He brings out the Sylveon, and it pretty much eats this Shadow Ball after the hazard damage. But this is actually okay for us because we can switch out. Hard switch directly into Weezing, who has Toxic Spikes. And we can set up our Toxic Spikes right here, expecting him to switch out. He should switch out. He does switch out, and he brings back in the Gastrodon, which is problematic because it doesn't get poisoned yet. Obviously, the spikes go down, Toxic Spikes go down after he comes in. So we're still in kind of a bind here, hoping he would. I know he's not going for Earth Power because I have the Levitate ability, but hoping he would go for Scald. I'm going to switch out to Mew. Oh, yeah, I actually switch out to Ditto to trace his Storm Drain. Not trace it, but, imposterize it. Become him and get his ability, which boosts our special attack. And now we can gauge how much Ice Beam will do to him. Maybe should have went for Earth Power, but I wanted to gauge the damage Ice Beam, and I kind of wanted revenge for him freezing me, so I wanted the freeze. But we trade Ice Beams here, and it's not going to work out in my favor, so I'm going to switch back out here. Back into the Mew. And we can take Ice Beams all day. Hopefully we thaw out next turn though. Gastrodon is a problem. I didn't prep well enough for it really. Could have slapped some Hidden Power Grasses on some people and Energy Ball, but I didn't. And he finally goes for the Earth Power. I guess he knew I wasn't switching on that turn. I still haven't thawed out. This is becoming a problem. I'm slowly losing my Mew, and I've done lost my Garchomp. Mew barely survives that Earth Power, and he gets the PBF drop. So I'm in a world of hurt right now. I'm actually going to switch out on this next turn to my Weezing so I can live the Earth Power. It'll be levitating above the Earth Power, but he actually goes for Ice Beam, which is a great play, especially after the PBF drop. I didn't even consider that. That was a great play on my opponent's part though. And here I'm just switching back out to Mew to hopefully get, Ditto to hopefully get another Storm Drain boost. and then I'm going to go for Earth Power, but he actually goes for the Ice Beam, so I don't get the special attack boost. So I'm just going to switch back out because he got a crit, which is leading me to believe that he may freeze me again, and I do not want that. I can't let that happen again. So I'm going to switch out again to Alakazam this time because I want to see if he'll Scald Alakazam, see if I can trick him with my Trace after I get his Storm Drain, and then he hit me with a Scald to get the special attack boost, and then can go from there. But he hard switches to Heracross. He hard switches to Heracross and gets the Poison, which probably activates Guts. And we're going to actually see his ability right here when we get Trace. And he did in fact have Guts, so this Heracross would have been a major problem if it was Scarfed. But I'm not sure if it was Scarfed because he hard switched it in and it faints to the Mega Alakazam Psychic, which is actually really great for us. And now he brings in his own Alakazam, which at this point I believe it's sashed because of the way he brought it in. So here I'm going to sacrifice my Mew to what should be a Shadow Ball, and it is indeed a Shadow Ball. Shadow Balls have got an underrated animation. That's pretty sick. Okay, now we can bring in Ditto and become Ditto Zam. Yeah, Ditto Zam. And I predict him to switch out, and I go for Psychic, but he stays in to take the Psychic. But this is okay. I balance the risk and benefits of that. And as long as I broke his Sash, I was okay. He KOs me in return. And now I lose my Ditto again. Or I lose my Ditto also, excuse me. And now I can bring in Mega Alakazam and knock this thing out. Assuming it didn't have Scarf. I assumed it was Sash the way he brought it in a minute ago. And Mega Alakazam picks up the kill on Alakazam. And now he brings in Sylveon, who is below 75% already, and takes Spikes damage and Rocks damage and becomes poisoned. And at this range, Mega Alakazam can knock out the Sylveon also. So the scales are tipping back in our favor slowly. And now he brings out the Jolteon, which takes Spikes damage, Rocks damage, and becomes poisoned also. And knowing Alakazam, it was a roll if it would knock him out from that range, so I'm going to let him take a little bit more toxic damage as he goes for Shadow Ball on my Weezing that I switched in. And Weezing being, fully special defensive in this match, was able to live that Shadow Ball. But will faint to the second one. Especially because of the Spadef drop, but it didn't matter. It would have been a 2-hit KO from the range I was at. And now I know Mega Alakazam can knock this thing out. And if it's Scarf, it can't knock me out with Shadow Ball anyway, so. Now he brings in Gastrodon, who takes Spikes damage, Rocks damage, and becomes poisoned. And at this point, with my HP investment, I know this Gastrodon can't 2-hit KO me from this range. So I feel pretty confident in the win. And he does not KO me with one hit. So this next Psychic should be able to pick up the knockout, especially after the poison damage. There's no doubt in my mind about it. And Mega Alakazam picks up his 5th kill of the match, taking down the Gastrodon, who was a huge, huge problem. And we picked up a narrow 1-0 against Raymond, coach of the San Francisco 40 Arcaniners. That was a divisional match. It was really intense. The freeze was very unfortunate on my part. But yeah, we pick up the win. We move to 2-0 with a 7+ differential, and we play the Gateway Gardevoirs next week. And we'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching.